Hello, people. Sorry for sounding very upbeat. It's just the third fucking time I'm trying to record and produce something, and I think it's getting closer and closer to my girlfriend coming home. And me sitting here talking English would sort of make her flip out. I'm just trying to produce a video. I had a thought, I had a lot of thoughts, a lot of things to say in both videos. Uh, I just had this discussion two times with myself about what do you actually think about YouTube right now? It's pretty interesting. It's as a corporation, YouTube is getting lots of criticism about them pulling out all the advertisers and so on, and people saying that, oh, you are losing money yourselves because you make the choice to pull people out of this. And it has sparked interest in me as a human being. And saying this before you're getting annoyed, I'm gonna do a melee only, trying to get the melee challenge. You see in the left corner. Oh, it's up here. And me coming into YouTube actually as a person who's trying to produce content, do you think it's stupid? Me to produce content as I think YouTube originally was made. Of course, it's always had a thought behind it, but sometimes I actually think that YouTube just started out to be this forum for videos and so on that just wanted to be its own thing, and it was sort of a fun creation. Cause I remember when I was small watching these like really old YouTube videos about this really weird home videos and funny videos, you know, like American Funniest Home Videos and so on. Not the program, but you know, and it's actually made me think about America's Funniest Home Videos. Uh, you know that's actually a program that's been going on for a while. I don't know how it still like survives and how people still watch it. And it sort of interests me that to see people's thoughts about it all, about YouTube and what it's becoming. Sort of, will it live on like this or will it just die out? YouTube is a really big corporation, but it's important to think like sites like MySpace and other things has died off almost. MSN died off too. It's nothing new that actually big things. I know it hasn't been as big as YouTube, but big corporations dying is nothing new, and it's a possibility. I'm not gonna lie to you, if everyone gets annoyed at it and thinks, yeah, I'm not gonna do anything more like this. Uh, it will affect everyone in the end. You as a consumer can't consume anymore, and that's something to really think about. And going back to the thing about corporations, is YouTube really bad for doing these drawbacks? Is YouTube doing wrong? If I would say to you that I would get kicked from my job if they just knew I've been using Snapchat inside the factory, you would say that that's insane, right? Would anyone care? No. Why? I did the wrong thing. I went against the regulations of being a factory worker, at least in my factory. Um, and then you start thinking about, oh well, about those regulations. YouTube doesn't have these regulations. No, not exactly, but it's sort of the same thing. It's not really clear on YouTube. They can like block you for making content that they think is not right, but how does someone prove that I took a snapshot photo inside of the factory? How does anyone sort of look that up? And how do they know? They can just say that, and that's all they have to say. They don't have to have anything on their side. It's the same thing with all corporations. It's usually a lot of things that that corporations can do that you don't really know, and that goes against your rights. Sometimes it ends well for people, but sometimes it just leads to people losing what they have, and that's interesting. All corporations can do this, but YouTube, just because people on YouTube are so famous and that's how they make money by people watching them and so on, it makes people get affected by this. They get affected because other people, and if it gets so wrong, and all these content creators make this sort of movement, but at the same time, wouldn't you say that YouTube is just like any other corporation? Or is YouTube actually going against more regulations than a corporation would do if they would kick someone just for using Snapchat inside of a factory? I don't know. It's it's a thin line between actually calling YouTube wrong or not, I think. And me as a person, I think I'm totally against YouTube for doing what they do, because yeah, because it's in the long run, it's just hurting themselves, of course, and I think it's really sad that they killed something that is so that is so important for me. I think in terms of sharing opinions and affecting people's lives. Yeah, I think YouTube is life affecting, and I think it's really important to think about why you watch YouTube and why a lot of people do it, and why it's so popular. It's because it's people that are normal that can become something big. It thins the line between being a corporate asshole that owns everyone and being actually a person being recognized for being him or herself or whoever self he wants to be, and becoming this. I'm totally over with the challenge now. That's why I'm starting to kill people with weapons. But like, it it blurs this line between commoners, as we could say, and the rich and the higher up sitting people. It is something that we need in times when corporations are getting bigger than ever, and we are very controlled about what sort of like what the choices we make in life. We get really affected by all these corporations, and they affect us, and they have a big impact on us. And for a normal person to spit them in the face, like someone like Felix PewDiePie, being a normal Swede producing the content he did, and now being so big, I know he's been acting a bit and becoming very racist and so on and so forth, at least in his language and in his actions that he has made. I'm not taking him for only being racist. I think he's affected by a lot of things. Yeah, I scared him off. It's important to know that on YouTube you can be anyone and you can get recognized. And I think that's why there has to be a YouTube. But at the same time, the people who owns the corporation make their own choices, and that that's why it's so sad it's a corporation, because even though you want to uh, say against it and say, yeah, you can turn to another place, people build their lives around things, and a lot of people have built their lives around YouTube, which is kind of sad, yes. And like all conservative people, it's hard to let go of things. I thought I died by the explosion. And it's not so simple as turning to Twitch, because people won't be there. When you have a group around something, they will stay around that because they're usually used to that, and the UI of YouTube is pretty easy and common, and we've all grown around it, or at least me and a lot of people I know, and almost every person I know, old as young, they know YouTube, and they know how it works. They watch it themselves. It affects their everyday life in 100 ways. And that's the thing. You can't just turn to Twitch to make content, even though you can. You can. It's not. I'm talking against it. It's just that it. Oh.